Hi, this is Michael Talis with the Talis team. I'm here with Keith. He's in Orlando, Florida. So, Keith, please introduce yourself.
Well, I am Keith Leveson. I am a broker associate and team lead, as well as a specialist in investment properties, second homes, resort properties. Here in Orlando, Florida, I run the team Migrate Orlando, and we work with the brokerage MVP Realty. And I love Florida and I love Michael, so I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So, how long have you been in Orlando?
I've been in Orlando now for 11 years, and I cannot believe it's been that long. But I mean, it's a great place to be. So,
Good to hear that. So, I deal a lot with people in California who are looking for places outside of the state to escape to. Uh, so, why would they pick Orlando, Florida, or Florida in general?
let's start with the most obvious. You're in California,
All
you got
right.
Disneyland. If you could have land or the world, which would you choose? We have Disney World. No, I'm joking. But I mean, like, honestly, Disney World is amazing. It's a great place to hang out and have fun. On top of, the obvious of Disney World, we have Universal Studios, we have SeaWorld. Then once you get past all that, we have what's called International Drive. International Drive is full of fun, full of food. We actually have, I don't drink
Hmm.
anymore just for health reasons. But if people like to grab a drink, we actually have speakeasies here
Oh,
in Orlando. So it's kind of fun because you'll walk in and like one of the famous ones is there's several elevator doors and you
okay.
have to figure out which is the right elevator. Because if you click the wrong door, you're just going to take an elevator. But if you press the right one, you get into the speakeasy.
Oh,
Yeah, so we have a lot of those. We have
does it come with police raids or?
police rates. Not anymore, thankfully, man.
Oh gosh,
But
that would be fun.
yeah, I mean it's great. Then you got downtown Orlando, which is a lot of fun, a lot of business. So I mean those are kind of like the big activities, but like some of the stuff that's off the beaten path that a lot of people don't really know about is okay, so Orlando and its surrounding areas were really centrally located.
Hmm.
You could always go out over to Daytona Beach and catch the actual beach, but a lot of people actually like to hang right here in Orlando, and we have all these springs uh,
Oh,
that people don't know about. So there's Wakaiwa Springs, there's Kelly Park.
is it like
There,
hot springs
um,
or mineral waters? What?
yeah, I don't call them hot springs because I lived in Costa Rica
Oh,
and the hot springs ran from the volcano and the water was really warm. This water is like, I think it's like 75 year round. So to me, I'm freezing. But I mean, like on hot days, which in Florida we have plenty of them, it's a great place to go and the water is crystal clear. Funny enough, you and me, we were just talking about littering in, Florida. And that's one of the big reasons that they're so strict on littering in Florida. What you bring into those springs,
right.
they want to keep them very crystal clear. And then if you go like an hour outside of Orlando,
Hmm.
um, let's see, the months I believe are November, December, and January. That's when we have all the manatees that come
Oh,
in. Yeah, they come in, and you can swim with the manatees. and it is the coolest experience. So yeah, I mean, like on top of parks, nature, really, to me, it's one of those things where when people are like, why should I move to Florida? I'm like, why haven't you already moved to Florida?
Got it. So if somebody makes the decision and they want to move in and buy a home, what would be the first things that you need to explain to them, because something that is unique to your area?
Wow, that's a real good question. You know, when I sit down with individuals that are looking to buy a, let's say, a second home, or individuals that are fully moving, they're coming. We have two different consultations. So let's take people first that would want to buy a second home, vacation home here.
Right.
One of the big things we kind of talk about is where do you want to be? How do you, when you think about that home, are you thinking a large home, small home? How many rooms? How far from the beach would you like to be? Do you want a pool? Do you want a community pool? Do you want no pool at all? You know, those types of things. But a real big question that I like to ask people is how many days in a year do you think you're going to come? Because that affects a lot. It affects a lot because if, let's say, you are trying to escape a winter and you're going to be here 3 to 6 months, we might look at different properties than what we're looking at for an individual who's planning on coming here for a couple of weeks out of the year. And the reason is because that
Makes
individual who's come in for a couple of weeks, they might want to turn that property into an Airbnb. And one way that I love to buy Airbnb properties is based off of where do I want to go on vacation? Like, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, right. If you're spending a week, where do you want to spend it? Where will
Right.
you get the big bang for your buck in terms of experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like, if I want to go on vacation there, other people would want to go on vacation there. But on top of that, in a sense, I'm almost going on vacation for free because I turned it into a rental property. It's a property that's paying for itself. I'm just going to visit. Like, it's amazing. All right. So that's, you know, more the investor side, second home side.
Well, one thing that
Yeah.
I hear from some people, that if you spend more than half a year, you can get benefit of taxation in that specific location. And I don't know if you are running into that question.
Okay. So very cool. In Florida, and you know, I'm not sure how other states work, but here in Florida, if you live here for more than 6 months out of the year, basically meaning this is going to be your primary residence, okay? You can apply for what's called the homestead exemption. And the homestead exemption basically will cut off will reduce the value. And now this might sound bad, but it's not. It's a great thing. It adjusts, let's say it that way. It adjusts the value of your home for taxation purposes.
Right.
And yeah. And
just for taxation purposes, it's basically county assessor or somebody like that.
Exactly, exactly. So it's just being adjusted, and there are additional things that you can qualify for, like let's say you're a widow, let's say you're blind, you're disabled. They have additional credits that build on top of the standard homestead exemption. So that's amazing because here in Florida, some areas it's crazy. I was looking at a property for myself, right? And I was looking at it, and the taxes on it were going to be $1,000. Yeah, not a problem. But in other areas, some of these taxes are hitting $4, $8, $10,000 a year. So having that homestead
So about
exemption,
the same value of the home.
yeah,
Interesting.
so if you get that homestead exemption to adjust it, I mean, I've sometimes seen it cut in half.
Oh,
So
wow.
you might go from 8,000 a year down to 4. I've seen that happen. Um, the other real cool stuff, like benefits about homestead that a lot of people aren't necessarily aware of, is one, if you're married, it
Hmm.
automatically puts your spouse on the title. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So let's
It
say,
may be a benefit, it may be other way around.
let's just hope you like your spouse, you know? We'll hope. Yeah, I don't got my ring on, so my wife might kill me. But hey, there you go. Smart man. We've been married 16 years. How long you been married, Mike?
Oh, 35.
See, that's why you're smart. I'm still
Uh,
trying to catch up.
well, it's a separate story. Anyways, but if somebody is moving in full time, is there anything that is really specific to your area?
Um, well, the thing that we get asked a lot about is hurricanes. That is a huge thing that people ask about it constantly. And, obviously I don't work for NOAA. I love NOAA. When I was a kid, that was my dream to be part of the national, what is it, Oceanic and
Oh,
whatever
oh.
association. But at
I'm
national,
thinking of ARC when you said
no,
Noah.
no, no, no. I think it stands for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association.
Right.
So I love them, and I always wanted to be a part of that since I was a kid. But I'm not a weatherman. I don't work for them, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I've lived in Orlando for 11 years, and I've never left for a hurricane. And it's not because I'm one of those guys who's outside with a camera going, "Can you believe this is happening?" That's not the type of person I am. But uh, it's just that because we're so centrally located,
Hmm.
what I have found is that by the time the hurricanes reach us, they've already made landfall and their winds and so forth have diminished. That by the time it reaches us, it's generally not a huge issue.
Not too bad.
No. The worst that I've experienced, it knocked down a portion of my fence, which is a vinyl privacy fence. So they're like Legos. I just went in and popped it back in. But my parents and my wife's parents who live down the road, their homes experienced absolutely nothing.
Right. But my understanding is the standards, the building code takes into account possible hurricanes. So newer construction is better protected and can withstand worse winds than something that was built at whatever 1900s.
Yeah,
Well, 1900s, I mean 1900 with.
Yeah, I get, yeah. But what's funny though is in this area, we've had homes for sale that were built in 1910. So we have homes that go back that far.
Yeah.
But you're right. Newer construction, a lot of times you have, those upgrades where how the roof is attached and things like that. But sometimes, and again, it's just my own feeling, it's like at that point there so like let's say a hurricane's top wind speed is 160 miles per hour,
Right.
and when you go and you look at these new construction homes, they're like, our home can withstand 500 miles per hour. You're like, it's when is this going to happen?
Well,
And
but hopefully it won't get distracted by something more conventional. So it's like safety
exactly,
margin. Yeah,
but the older homes here though, it's the same thing, you know, because we're so centrally located, you just don't see a lot of issues.
That's good to hear.
Probably, yeah, probably like if I'm gonna be, because I like to be 100% straightforward, which sometimes is a good thing, bad thing, but like probably the worst thing that can happen is
Hmm.
one of two things. Um, we lose power. Um, now,
Well, for Californians, it's just another day in the in the
just another,
neighborhood.
another day. Well, if you lose power, that only is a big effect if you have power lines above ground. A lot of neighborhoods are switching to the power lines below ground, so we don't experience that as much. But if you have power lines above ground, you lose power. That can be an issue. And sometimes, along with losing power, comes water boil notices. So, because they can't treat the water because the
Oh,
plants
got
are
it.
down, you have to boil the water. Um, but that doesn't last 2, 3 months. That's, you know,
Yeah.
maybe longest I think I've seen was a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's quite a bit of time.
it
Anyway,
is like that's why we always prepare for hurricane season. Because you just don't know. But you know, and by preparing, I don't mean like we stockpile stuff. What we do is it's me, my wife, and my daughter. So we buy I believe it's a gallon of water for each person for 3 days. So we buy 9 gallons of
oh,
water.
that's not too scary.
No, and then we buy you know, like a box of power bars. You know, just in case you need something while the process is going on. Because I have charcoal grills and stuff, so
Yeah,
typically we'd be okay.
yeah, but if you don't have power, you potentially may lose your food in the refrigerator. That's another thing that kind of downside.
It is depending on who you buy your refrigerator from. So, interestingly
Interesting.
enough, some of the companies that sell refrigerators and ice boxes and so forth down here, they give you a warranty to cover a certain amount of food
Oh,
in the refrigerator for a period of time. So, you know, it's let's say a 5-year warranty, and they'll cover up to $300.
all right. Yeah, so anyways, what I hear it doesn't happen very often.
No.
That's the main thing. So if I would start shopping for a home, what kind of homes would I see on the market? Sizes, single family versus condos, townhomes, and if you can dive into pricing a little bit, what's the average median for median average home?
Yeah, absolutely. Understand, me and my team, we cover 6 counties.
Whoa.
Yeah, we work all over the place. So Orlando is located in what's called Orange County, Florida.
Hmm.
Then right next to it, we have Seminole County. Disney is located in what's called Osceola County. Right below Osceola County, you have Polk County, which we
Hmm.
cover as well. A little bit further, let's see, I believe it's west. We have Lake County, which we cover. And then we cover Volusia County, which is where Daytona Beach is.
Oh,
So we cover a wide variety, me and my team. So when we talk about like average price, I'm going to give you an idea of what we're seeing just across the board for
right.
6 counties, basically. It should give you a real good idea. Let's talk about homes, what we're seeing types of homes, uh, townhomes, condos, single family residences. And when we talk about condos, um, I used to live in Michigan. We had detached condos.
Hmm.
I believe there are some in South Florida, mostly I don't know of any detached condos here in our area. They're all, like condo,
like a
typical
building.
building that, yeah, you would see. Townhomes, condos, single family. Now, majority of homes you're going to look at, they're 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if you look at 3-2s on the market,
So that's
you're
typical.
swimming in them. Yeah. When you start to go like 4-2, now we start to see it drop drastically, the amount of homes available. When we talk about size of the home,
Mm-hmm.
this is where it gets crazy because the sizes of homes in Orlando, um, I had a family of, I think they were 6 or 7, and
Oh,
they were living in a 1,000 square foot home. So we got homes that are 800, 900 square feet, all the way up to 4,000,
oh,
5,000 square feet. When you're talking about average, it's super hard to give an average. I would tell anyone at the very minimum, if you're looking, you're going to see probably, man, maybe 1,200 to 1,800 square feet, somewhere in that range. But the reality is, like, that's not a real good estimate. Like, averages for square footage are hard to give. Lot size,
well, maybe not average, but the more common homes, what I hear are in that 1,500 give or take
yeah,
range.
yeah, right around there. Because like it's a very hard market because we have some homes
Mm-hmm.
that were built in 1950 and they're smaller. And then we have some homes that, were built last year and you would think they'd be larger, but now they're going smaller.
Well,
And
the ones
then
that were built in 2005, 6, 7 are the largest.
yes, exactly, exactly, exactly. You know, so that's where it's just kind of one of those things. Lot size, again, is all going to be about where you're looking to buy, 100%. So, if you tell me that you want to buy an acre of land in Orange County, Florida,
Mm.
Seminole County, Florida, you better have a good amount of money. It's going to be expensive.
So are we
Probably
talking
we're
multi-million?
talking, yeah, I would say you're talking about 1 million up, you
Okay.
know. Now, if you're talking about, an acre of property or more, and we're looking in areas like Lake County, Volusia County, those areas they're swimming in land. They have beautiful land. And you can find homes that are 350, 400, in those areas with an acre, 2 acres of land. Polk County as well. Um,
So
so,
those, what I hear, those are more rural counties
um,
as opposed to
so
like Orlando, that is a city and then suburbs.
yeah, I guess we could put it that way. Like, so for me, right, when I talk about like rural suburbs, that type of thing, you know, we we've lived all over the world. So for me, my definition doesn't necessarily just follow on, hey, is there a city there? A lot of what like I look at
Yeah,
is
access
how
to
far away.
amenities.
Yeah, exactly. How far is Walmart? Um, you know, how far is Target? Can I get to for us, our big grocery store here is Publix. Can I get to Publix? And what's crazy is those areas that people would think of as more rural,
Hmm.
when we start moving into them, Walmart, Publix, Target, these amenities, they're 10 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're not driving half an hour. That's where a lot of what you're really looking at is lifestyle. If you like nature, you're
Right.
going to want to be Volusia, Lake, Polk. If you are more of the type of person that like city type living, Orange County, Seminole County, those are for you, Osceola County. But again, if you're trying to find an acre of property there, it's going to be hard. We're seeing homes at $700,000 that don't even have a quarter of an acre of land. So, you know, they're putting them very close together.
You're talking about newer construction.
Yeah. Yep. So, you know, that's just kind of how it is now when we talk about pricing. So for condos, townhomes, we're seeing condos sit at about 255 to 265, townhomes slightly above that, probably 275 up to low threes. Funny enough, though, some of these new construction townhomes, they're going for 400s. You know, it's just lack of inventory. When we talk about single family residences, on average, I think I just looked at the numbers today for a customer of mine, and we were looking at the average, and I believe it was 412,000 is the average home price. So
got it.
yeah,
No, that sounds way more affordable than a lot of places here in the Bay Area. So that
yeah.
should be attractive. What about the HOAs? Do you have a lot of homeowner associations or not
So
really?
so HOAs are very interesting here in Florida. Everything's interesting here, right? I feel like I've been starting every sentence with, well, it's interesting.
Well,
Anyway,
add alligators and well, I don't know.
we have
Iguanas, I
bears.
heard.
Yep, we have iguanas, we have bears, we have pumas, so and snakes. I do not do snakes. Anyway, HOAs, we talk about HOAs. So the majority of properties you're going to look at are going to have HOAs.
Including single family homes.
Yep. A
Got
good
it.
majority are going to have HOAs. Condo and townhome HOAs, you're going to have to be super careful with. You got to be wise when making those purchases. Some of those HOAs, I've seen some over $1,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's high.
very high. And when you consider, let's say I bought a property for $265,000, you know, what's my mortgage on it? Or if I bought it cash, straight out
Right.
cash, I still have $1,000 HOA monthly or condo association fee monthly. It's ridiculous. So, you know, that is kind of a problem for the condo and townhome market. When you're looking in those specific areas, specific styles, you got to be careful with the HOAs. Now, the HOAs often include swimming pools, you know, a tennis court, whatever, some amenities. But I mean, quite honestly, very few people that I've talked to have ever said, oh yeah, I feel it's completely worth, you know, the $1,000 a month.
But they're covering like structural and roofs and all other stuff, or that's additional.
So for condos, yes, a lot of times it's covering all of those. For townhomes, not necessarily.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So for townhomes, it may not cover structural, it may not cover the roof. And that's where, you know, you got to have somebody who's really going to help you dig into it. Now, if we go single family residence, a lot of times I find these single family residences, homeowner association fees are a lot cheaper. We're talking, you know, like mine, I pay $115 a quarter.
Oh, so
you
it's
know,
like a little over $400,
yeah,
$450 a year.
Exactly. But they don't give us anything other than maintaining the common areas, which is really just cutting the lawn outside the entrance. So that's really all that we pay for. There is nothing else that we get. But there are other associations right down the road from me as a new construction. I help some customers get in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they have what they call resort style HOA. And what that means is your HOA, I believe, it was under 300 a month. I don't remember exactly. It was under 300 a month, but they have swimming pool, they have tennis courts. It includes your lawn care. You do not do anything with your house, you know. But that's for 300 a month.
Right, but the maintenance of the building itself is yours. HOA will not put a new roof on the single family home. Yeah, I just want to separate it because just not to have any confusion. Makes sense. And they probably enforce some rules like color of the paint and type of the windows too.
Exactly. You know, the one, it's all depends on how you look at it. The way we view HOAs here is really their main job is to ensure property values. That's their main job. And as long as they're doing that, and they do that by saying, hey, you cannot paint your house purple and green,
Yeah, makes sense because a lot of people don't want to live across the street and look at that.
Exactly.
So how about schools?
So schools, there are loads and loads and loads of wonderful public schools as well as private schools. A lot of people, funny enough, because of COVID, so many people switched to homeschooling. So a lot of people that are looking at buying homes, what we talk with them a lot about if they have families is there an area that's good for homeschooling in the home? So a lot of people are looking for that.
That's very interesting. Yeah, in our practice, homeschooling never comes up, but a lot of private school questions, especially because California was closed. California public schools were closed for a really long time, and private schools were more open for in-person learning. And that's why there was a shift, but were huge waiting lists to get into private schools.
Wow. Yeah, and we put my daughter in a private school. And funny enough, we ran across the same thing because with some of the private schools, it depends on where you live and all those types of things. So because we didn't necessarily live in a certain area or whatever, we got put on the lottery list or the waiting list or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have those types of things, but a lot of that is based on where you live, if you're out of a county, inside a county, whatever. But our daughter, we ended up finding a great little private school that's 12 minutes from the house. And there are only four kids in her entire class.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally one-on-one instructions. It's like
exactly
hiring a governor.
Well, my wife was like, do you think she's going to get in trouble? I was like, how? Like,
how old is she, by the way?
If it's 5. She's 5. Yeah. I'm like, how is she going to get in trouble? There's only 4 kids. And the interesting thing, I think the reason she was worried about it is the way a lot of the private schools work here is while they do have to keep grades for governmental regulations and stuff, within the actual school, they don't use grades. So and I don't mean grades by like, oh, A, B, whatever. I mean grades as, so for example, my daughter her class has her, she's 5. Then there's a 6-year-old, and then there's an 8-year-old, and then there's, I think, a 10-year-old, and they're all in the same class. So, you
Well,
know,
the teacher needs to give individual instructions to every student.
exactly. So sometimes there's separate, you know, individual work, but then sometimes there's group work. So it varies.
Yeah, that's very interesting. It's like good old days when you have one school in a village and all kids go there from elementary to high school.
Yeah. And like to me, so like here's the cool thing about Florida. In other states I lived, I never saw this. In Orlando and stuff, I've seen it. We have a lot of new things, like new technologies, but there's some really cool old school things like the schools. Another real cool thing that I love is my daughter's doctor. So my daughter's doctor, we have to pay a monthly membership fee.
All right.
On top of, you know, regular bills, visits, whatever. But he gives us his home phone number and his cell phone number. And we've called him when our first child,
All right.
you know, she's a baby, 3 a.m., something happens, we're calling him up and he's taking care of it. And like, you know, like you said, it reminds you of the old days where you call, you know,
Yeah.
Dr. Hannigan and he'd come over and type thing.
Yeah, send your horse buggy to pick up a doctor, your doctor from his home.
Exactly. But, you know, as a new parent, that was
It's absolutely
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's almost unheard of in our area. What I hear that most people, in that case, you go to emergency or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, so you're saying a lot of new stuff. So I assume that there is a lot of new employment opportunities coming to your area. So what kind of jobs
Yeah.
are in the area? So if I'm relocating full time, what should I expect?
Well, you know, it all depends on the industry you work in. If you work in medical, we have some very top-notch leading medical institutions in Lake Nona, Dr. Phillips area. If you're a professor or something like that, we have UCF, the University of Central Florida, which is one of the fastest and greatest universities that's growing nationwide. If you
Is it a state
are,
school or is it private?
it, oh goodness, I believe it's private.
Oh,
I don't believe it's state school. State schools, I believe, are Seminole State College, Valencia College. I believe those are, but I believe UCF is private. I'm not exactly sure. That is a great, and what's sad is I worked for UCF. So like I worked there and I
well,
just,
that means it's not important. I'm just curious.
yeah. But anyway, so there's that. Now, if we're talking, you know, other types of employment, of course, Disney. We have been hearing that Disney could be relocating as many as 3,000 employees to our area.
Oh, wow. So
So,
it's not just park, they also have some kind of, I don't know, business center or
oh yeah.
creative center.
Yeah, they have call centers, and they have a lot of great work from home opportunities. So, you know, there are lots and lots of opportunities with them, customer care, management, so on and so forth, with Disney. So it's a big thing here, as well as Amazon. We have a lot of Amazon warehouses, truck drivers, things like that. So, I mean, you know, it's a very good mix of individuals that might be looking for blue collared work or white collar work. Either way, Orlando's got you covered. They have a great mix.
That's good to hear. Sounds like you're in a good place. And we talked about you started with kind of recreational life and what kind of fun you can have in your area. But the big question is, what would be the most kind of Orlando style food? What would be like
Ooh,
special cuisine that you can get there and not in other places?
wow, man, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for that. That's like
Okay,
deep.
your favorite food in Orlando.
No, no,
Let's
no,
simplify it.
no. Because look, man, you're talking to the right guy about food. I did not put on 40 pounds over the past 2 years because I do not eat.
Uh,
Um, you know,
no, it's all the stress with your daughter.
I agree with that. That's. I always tell her that she goes, Papa, why don't you have any hair? And I tell her, oh, I had long flowing black hair before you were born. But anyway, so Orlando food, right? Orlando, oh man, we got some great food. So if I'm gonna give you some like real special places. Okay. So these aren't, I'm going to give you some real special places at first. These are not the cheapest places.
Oh,
okay. I'll give you a couple of my favorite places that are more affordable. But if you come to Florida, you gotta try if you can get it, Victoria and Albert's.
oh.
Victoria and Albert's is the only five diamond restaurant in our area. And it is located on Disney property. It can get so booked that Prince Harry showed up and could not get in.
And he's in the family.
He's in the family. He's in the family. They said it was funny because when he finally got to eat there, they said he looked up and he went, "Oh my, that's a picture of Grandmama." You know. So, but Victoria and Albert. Now, if you want Victoria and Albert's experience without necessarily going to Victoria and Albert's because it's pricey. I think average is $250 to $350 per person. You want same experience, but you don't want to go there. Something similar but lower cost is the chef's table at the Edgewater.
What kind of food is that?
So Victoria and Albert's is more, I believe, traditional French cuisine. Okay. That's how I would put it. And then the chef's table at Edgewater is somewhat similar, but you'll average about $100 per person. So it's really nice. You eat in the kitchen as opposed to at Victoria and Albert's. So it's a nice experience. Cadence is a sushi place. It is a Michelin star sushi place here in Orlando.
Nice.
So it's delicious. So those are your higher price. If we're looking at stuff that like, you know, I just could not live without, you got to go to Me Thai. It's spelled M-E-E Thai, Me Thai. They are by far, to me, the best Thai restaurant in all of Orlando. No one beats them. Yeah, that and then
sounds like you have whole range.
Oh yeah, and if you want brunch, Santiago's Bodega. They do a fried croissant. What is it called? Oh man. Not pancakes, not waffles.
Oh,
French toast.
French toast.
French toast. They do a fried croissant French toast. It's amazing.
That sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
You won't go hungry there.
I'm hungry now. I'm like,
I mean, You could have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I know what that's what I'm saying. I'm hungry now, Mike. Come on, man. You come here. We're going. Like, I mean,
For
I don't
sure.
know how long the flight is. I'll try and wait for you, but we need to get going, man.
Oh God. Uh, you mentioned that there is a period of time that is hot. So what's the balance? Kind of really pleasant weather versus something that may be a little too hot.
Okay, so um pleasant weather would probably be like November 3rd, and then the rest of the time it's really hot.
Oh, really?
No, like, Orlando, all around this area, it's just, it's typical. We're south. It's gonna
Right.
get hot. We're not as hot as Texas. So you're not gonna be talking about that scalding heat. Um, and typically by the afternoons, it does get cooler, but we have a lot of high humidity.
Right.
And, it's, I think if you're moving to Florida, it's just one of those things that you got to accept, because so I lived in the rainforest
Okay.
without air conditioning, and I was perfectly fine. Life was great in the rainforest, uh, on the equator, southern hemisphere. I moved to Florida. I was like, I don't need air conditioning. That lasted like 2 days. Like,
Interesting.
yeah. And a matter of fact, it's one of those things that is viewed so seriously. I believe if you are a landlord and the AC goes out, you have 24 hours to have it fixed
Okay, got it.
because it's just, it's hot.
But are we talking about 100 or are we talking about 90s, 80s,
I would
110?
say, I would say on average, you're looking in the 90s. On
Okay.
average. Now, sometimes it's going to hit 98, 99. And during the winter months, when I first moved here, during November, and it still does during November, December, we can drop as low as 50, 45 degrees. Um, but again, that's typically like a
But
month or two. You're
but
not
back during
talking.
the day, you're back into like 70s, 80s.
Oh yeah, yeah. It during the day, you're not experiencing that, coldness. Yeah, that's at night.
Got it. What would be the last thought? What kind of thought you want to leave with our listeners in terms of if they're thinking about what would be the most important thing you want to share?
Orlando is fun. It is fun. Like, I mean, like honestly, if you're a nature lover, it's fun. If you are a somebody who likes attractions, it's fun. My wife is an extrovert. I am
Hmm.
an introvert. And there are great things for both of us. My wife loves to, and I'll go with her. We'll go out, we'll do stuff. There's, da- clubs and dancing and bars, and there's restaurants, and there's lots to do. But there's also great places for somebody like me who wants to get away and be with nature. One of my favorite spots to go is the Oakland Trail Preserve. It's in Winter Garden, and it is a beautiful, just nature walk. And or there's another one, Markham Woods. Now the Markham Woods, we see deer, we see alligators, we see bears, we see beautiful animals out there all the time. So I mean, it has a lot for everyone. And I would say if you're looking for a place to raise a family, to retire, to whatever it is, buy a second home, this is it. This is it. Like, I've told my wife, where are we going? There's nowhere like this. We're not going. Yeah, we might get vacation homes, but we're not going
Right.
anywhere, you know? So it's fun.
Oh, that's a good reference. if you're not going anywhere. So if people want to talk to you, what would be the best way to get hold of you?
They can send carrier pigeon. They can, hot air balloon. We have hot air balloons here. If that's something, anyway, sorry. We have we got rock climbing. We got rock climbing. Who's going to rock climb in Florida? There's rock climbing. So
that means you have things for everybody.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, if you want
to, do you have skiing? That's another question.
Yes, we do. It's called water skiing.
Oh, I never thought about it.
But so if you want to get in touch with me, my direct line is 407-410-3733.
I'll put it in the comments also, so it will
Perfect.
be in the description of the video.
Perfect. And best email address is team, TEAM, at mygreatorlando.com. And that's also our website, because Orlando is great, orlando.com. And any of those ways you can get in touch with us. A lot of people that are coming down, we consider ourselves the crusaders of fun. And like, if you're coming to Orlando, it's just, even to live, you got to experience all the fun that there is here.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, what's left without fun?
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Keith. And I hope people will give you a call and you will be able to share your experience living in Orlando and around. I understand 6 counties.
Yeah, 6 counties. Because like if I want to live on the beach, I got to go to Volusia County. I mean, there are lakes here, but I'm not going to be on the ocean. So,
right.
We really care about all the people we work with and helping them fulfill their goals. We love the people we work with. And what I tell our customers all the time is, you're going to live in the home. I'm not. So what that means is, if you want to live on the beach, why am I showing you homes in Orlando? I need to be showing you homes in Volusia County.
Yeah, you have to listen to what people really want.
Absolutely.
And they have to be open with you. That's another thing. If you're talking to Keith, tell him everything you can think about.
Absolutely.
He's a good listener.
Absolutely.
Anyways, thank you, Keith, and I really appreciate your time.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for letting me talk your ear off about Orlando. I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you.